Okay, now then you see all of this that I have. I am almost to the end of my skein. As you can see here, I don't know, I've got about 6-8 inches or so. And what I'm going to do first, I've got to get my second skein out. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Now then, you can trim off your extra edges here. And you can use this technique on your joining the same way. On any of your other ruffle scarves, it's really quite easy, and it helps hide in those ends. So you can always trim those off and cut them down shorter. Now then, on your working yarn that you still have on the loom. First of all, now this is how I like to do it. I will fold it so that the fold and the cut edge is towards me. I'm going to fold it over, back a few inches. I'm going to line up my loops. Oops, sorry. I'm going to make sure that my end loop ends up like that. See, where you just have the one. It really doesn't matter if you don't, though. I'm going to match up my loops. Okay, now that I've got that one folded over, I'm going to lay it down, pick up my new skein. Now then, you're going to fold it away from you. So you've got your cut edge. Once again, you can trim those edges off. Sorry, I'm getting too close to the camera. Okay, and then you can a couple inches, fold it away from you so that you've got that first loop. Again, I am working, you know, not in that top ladder, but right below it. But you can feel free to work in that top ladder if you like. Now then, I am going to pick up both of them carefully, put the two sides with the cut edges facing each other, but overlapping so that the cut edge of the new skein is not quite to the edge, of the old skein. And then I'm going to, and this part right here is kind of bulky, and then this edge will come over this side as well. And then you've got this, like I said, this is the tricky part, is getting it all lined up. So you get your loops matched up. I skipped loop. Now then, I put my loop on. So we've got one, and this would be two. And like I said, you're going to be, it's extra bulky now. You're going to skip two. And then those ends get hid within, whoops, I just pulled that loop off. Your ends get hid within the folds. You put your loop on. There's two. If you have to, you can divide it up. Get your back one worked. Well, not really divide it up, but separate it so you can see it better. So then there's one, there's two, and then on the front one, oops, I've come unfolded. Got to make sure that fold stays in there. There. Now then, there's that. So that would be 1, 2, maybe kind of hard to see. And then that one would be the 2 on it, because that's where you've folded. And then 1, 2, and then you will stick all 4 of those then on your loop. I wouldn't do as many, so that would be 3 then total I wouldn't do as many loops on the joining because there is that extra bulkiness to it. So you can just do, I'd say about one or two more. So that's 1, 2. And then it does take some finagling, but it makes a nice hidden edge when you join your ruffle yarn. And then 1, 2, I'll go ahead and loop that front one over, and then the back one. Now then, I am going to go ahead and knit this off. All of it, that bottom over the top, the bottom loops over the top loop. I would still leave the 2 sets on there. And then you've got, let's see, do the front one first. Actually, we're right at the end of that one. So we can put it on, and then this one, same thing, we're right at the end. So that would be 1, and then you're just back to your just single solitary strand again. And there's 3. I'll just go ahead and do 4, 1 more. So then it's just like 4 loops instead of that you're taking over the top because of that extra bulk. And then there you go. Now then, you have got that, and the way it's folded on each other, it will hide itself in the ruffles. Like I said, you can always trim those ends down to where they're not quite as noticeable, and there you go, you've got your join made. And then all you have to do is just continue with every other loop. Whoops, sorry, I'm trying to get out of frame again, watching my actual work instead of the camera. 2, 3, kind of awkward doing it with the camera between us. 4, 5, 6, and then 1 more because we're going to be knitting those bottom ones over the top one. Okay, and then that's all there is to it. Now then, we will get to the end.